Hello. So what I'd like to do today is to go ahead and cover my 2 years of experience with the Tello mobile network. Now, for those of you who are wondering and have never heard of Tello before, Tello is what they refer to as an MNBO, which means effectively they are a small business that piggybacks on one of the large big boy networks, as it were. They originally started out with a Sprint-based service, and now they have, with the migration, moved on over to the T-Mobile GSM network. So if you're wondering what kind of experience you would have with service, coverage, whatever it might be, T-Mobile, when you talk about Tello. So what happened was about 2 years ago, I had been a 5-year Freedom Pop customer, and I had been jumping through hoops trying to, keep the free or super low cost service. And finally what happened was they unceremoniously dumped off all of their Sprint-based customers on Ting with no warning, no, giving the customers a say-so and saying, hey, I don't really want Ting, I want to move to a different network. The long and the short of it was my phone number and phone got trapped in limbo with no service for about 3 weeks, and neither Freedom Pop nor Ting could do jack to help me out. Freedom Pop told me to go ahead and contact Ting. Ting would turn around and tell me to contact Freedom Pop, so I was totally stuck in limbo. And after 3 weeks I of no service whatsoever, I just had it. I was done with both of those jokes of a network. And I said, you know what? I said, Ting, you could have had my business, but you blew it. And so I went ahead and started researching other low-cost Sprint-based networks because that's, the type of service that I had. And lo and behold, I come to find out that there's this company called Tello that has some great plans at a low cost and also has really good customer reviews. And for an MNBO, they have very good customer service as far as the reviews were concerned. Lots of good reports about that. So I said, all right, I'll look into them. So I looked into them, and their plans immediately caught my eye. They're great for people who don't use a ton of data, but still want to have, unlimited talk and text. So the two plans that caught my eye were the unlimited talk and text with 1 gigabyte of 4G LTE data for $10 a month. That's it, $10. They also had another plan which had unlimited talks and text and 2 gigabytes of 4G LTE data for $14 a month. The other thing that was great was, after looking into it further, even after you reach that data cap, you still have more data. It's just at a throttled, slower speed. So as long as you're cool with that limitation, you could go, you can get service for as little as $10 a month and basically do whatever you want to with your phone. So anyways, the cost of the service, the reviews on it were great. And so I looked into it as far as getting my number ported. I really needed it because it was tied to a lot of things that are important to me. And so I said, you know what, Tello, help me out here, give me a number. And so I submitted that, and they said, well, it may take up to 5 days. I was like, 5 days? I've been without service for 3 weeks. What's 5 days? And so 2.5 days later, after those two jokers couldn't help me out for beans, between Freedom Pop and Ting, I had my old number up and running, good to go with Tello. All I had to do was basically reboot my phone and do an update, I think, and all of a sudden I'm good to go. The thing that was also really cool about it was that I went ahead and did a bring your own device. So I'm running an LG V40 on Tello's network, which is not a phone that they normally offer. But all you have to do is to go ahead and purchase a SIM at a really dirt cheap cost. I mean, it's somewhere between $2 and $5 or something like that, really cheap. So I just hooked up the SIM and then followed the instructions, did a power off, reboot, and update, and it was good to go. So as far as the service has been concerned, generally speaking, it's good service. I've had good coverage with it, good call quality. Texts, of course, go back and forth great. And, it just generally does a great job for very little money spent. And so, yeah, if you're a person who sits there and uses the T-Mobile network and you're wondering why on earth you're paying an arm and a leg and you're not using a ton of data, then I would highly recommend looking at Tello, because it'll save you a fortune. To put this in perspective, I actually had for years a T-Mobile prepaid phone, and I finally did the math and I said, why on earth am I paying $100 a year for 1,000 minutes when I can pay effectively $10 a month, which works out to about $120 for the year, and get unlimited talk and text and have a decent, data package there that I can use if I need to, for only like $2 more a month as far as how the breakdown works out. And I said, this is ridiculous. So I went ahead and got my backup phone switched over to Tello as well, after T-Mobile tried to say, oh, we'll give you this free phone and we'll get you set up on this prepaid plan and everything, and it's only going to run you $70 a month. I just looked at it and I said, are you serious? I said, I told you my regular cell phone service cost me $14 a month. Why on earth am I going to pay $70 a month for my backup phone? So anyway, I have my backup phone with Tello, and once again, Tello came through for me when it came to porting my number, which is notoriously difficult when it comes to prepaid phones on the T-Mobile network. It's really hit and miss with whether or not they could do it. But all I had to do was to give them my phone number with T-Mobile and then my T-Mobile account PIN number, and within 10 minutes, they had my phone number migrated over, even though T-Mobile told me up and down, oh, well, we don't know if we can import your phone number, even within the T-Mobile's own network, because it was on a different prepaid system. Tello just basically gave them the raspberry and said, we got it for this guy in 10 minutes. So anyways, yeah, now I'm up and running with my backup phone running that plan. Which brings up another good point. Even if you're a person who uses the big networks, whether it be Verizon, whether it be, no longer Sprint, but if it be Verizon, if it be, AT&T, if it be T-Mobile, it doesn't really matter which one you use. I would highly recommend having a backup phone, a low-cost backup phone that you can have. It's great for giving out as a number if you don't want people calling you, kind of like a junk mail number. Mine's been great for that. It's great to have for emergency backup situations. Something happens to your phone or whatever, you've got a phone there that's ready, up and running at very little cost to yourself. I spent $100 to get a reconditioned Motorola Moto E, which isn't a great, super fantastic phone by any stretch of the means. But once again, keep in mind, we're talking about a backup phone here. So you don't necessarily need something super fancy for that. You just need something to get you by until, you can get back to your main phone. So with that, with $100, that covered the cost of the phone, the SIM card, and my first month of service. So, when you're talking about $100 for your phone and, getting it all hooked up and first month of service included, for $100, I mean, even for a more entry-level phone, that's pretty good. And then being able to have the $10 a month for unlimited talk and text and then a gigabyte of data, plus unlimited, throttle data afterwards, is a pretty good deal. So I would still, even if you're a person who really uses their phone a lot, I would say it would be worth it to get one of these just to have as a backup phone, and at the low costs that they are. And that way you've got an option there if something happens to your phone, or if you just want an alternate number to just, give out to businesses or whatever it might be, so you're not bothered on your regular phone. And anyways, that's been my experience with Tello, and honestly, I cannot recommend them enough. As I said, I think whether you're looking for a low data use service for dirt cheap, that's good and with good customer service, or whether you're looking for a backup unit at a low cost to, just use as a secondary phone or something like that, Tello would be an excellent choice. I have no problem recommending them. My service with them has definitely been better than that I had with Freedom Pop, even when I was paying for Freedom Pop service. And so I have nothing but good things to say about Tello. I highly recommend them. And that's all I've got, and thanks for watching.